Okay.
Got it?
Welcome everybody to the February 10th Park and Recreation meeting. I'm going to read an opening statement that we do every time. Please note at the beginning of each Park and Recreation Commission meeting, there is an opportunity for public comment related to any park or recreation topic. These comments should address a topic not included on the agenda or those items on the agenda that do not have a public comment included as part of the agenda item. You will have a maximum of 2 minutes to share your comments. If you do not have the opportunity to speak during the allotted time, please submit your comments in writing to the Park and Recreation Commission. And I think they gave me an email for that. Yep. At Park and sorry, I get this wrong every time. Let's get it right. Park and Rec Commission at brooklinema.gov. Thank you very much. Okay. Going back to the top of the agenda. Okay, I hope everybody's had a chance to look at the meeting notes from January 13th. Do we have a motion to accept them? I sent in a couple of typos, corrections, and Lori sent it out again. So any?
I don't have any further corrections, and I'm making a motion to approve.
Thank you. Thank you. Jane moves to accept our meetings notes from January. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And Carol seconds it. Okay, I'm going to have to call you as I see you on the screen. Jane.
Yay.
Debbie.
Yes.
Carol.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Teresa.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you all. Okay. Now we have public comment on matters not on the agenda. Since Sean's the only one here, well, a commissioner could make a public comment if they wanted to, or Sean Lynn Jones. So do we have any public comments?
I do have a question, and it kind of ties in nicely with the golf course and all the wonderful things we're hearing about the cross-country skiing. But on the other side of that, there's always a but, right? People have been asking about the restaurant. Now, I know it's closed because of the window restoration and you're redoing the window, but people were like, oh, I hope that's not going to be a permanent winter thing, especially now that there's more people coming over here, whatever. And I didn't have an answer for that, so I just wasn't sure. And I'm not even asking for an answer now because I know you just have too much going on with the renovations that you're doing, but just wanted to put it on the radar that it's something that people are asking about and are hoping to see that it is opened in the winter because there's the beautiful fireplace and such. And I guess many people that I've heard from have gone to the dinners at night that they used to have. And then they liked the music series that was happening and they would love more of that. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just asking for maybe a future thing,
Yeah.
Maybe to discuss it future.
And
Because I know you can't open it now anyway. So
I can answer that quickly too.
Oh, okay.
Traditionally, this time of year, because we haven't had snow, the course has been, as you would assume, pretty dead outside of, the occasional dinner crowd. And then when we had those fireside dinners. So because of that, looking at their numbers from the last couple of years, they made the decision to shut down just for their own sake financially. So they shut down late December, and they're planning to open up middle of next month. They couldn't anticipate that this was going to happen, but that conversation's already actively happening with Alex and Chef and Chris. Moving forward. So we're very aware, and we see that that's kind of the missing link to kind of round out the cross-country program. So it's something we're already aware, something we're already talking about, and fingers crossed, if we have another good snow season next year, they'll be there. So.
Perfect. Thank you. I can give that answer to people when they ask. Needless to say, I live in precinct 15 and it's like the only thing in the area. So people are like, oh. So thank you.
Clara, I had something. I'm sure because of my previous job that I got an email and I was approached about the parking in front of the Tappan Street gym and the pool. And I wrote to Tim and because I didn't know maybe if the teachers were parking there now. There's no parking signs there. And I know when I was working, that was for emergency vehicles in case of an emergency. And there were cars parked there. So apparently that's the teachers it's not the teachers, it's what, once one person parks, everybody parks. So I sent an email when I found out it wasn't the teachers, it wasn't something that's changed. I sent an email to traffic, the traffic sergeant at the police department, and he's going to look into it.
Great.
So it's just so I understand, Debbie, this is in front of the Tappan Street gym.
Yep.
The cars are parking where they're not supposed to be parking.
Right, all the whole length, you know, it's filled there. So,
So are there signs that say no parking?
yeah,
Okay, so I guess they have to, so hopefully he'll ticket or do
Yeah.
something.
No, no, no. I mean, people
Oh,
park
it's you?
there. I mean,
It's you?
all these people are
Carol and her
parked there.
friends.
Carol, okay.
All these people are parked there every morning. It's a line thing. And I'm one of those people. You know, if there's no place to park, I park there and I take my chances. And whether it says no parking or not.
But it's
Well,
supposed to be for emergency
So
vehicles?
I would prefer, Debbie, that you did not alert anybody to ticket people there.
Oh, if there's an emergency and a fire truck, and you're parked there and a fire truck goes there, an ambulance goes.
There's room for the fire truck.
Oh, no, there's not. Well, you won't be able to get out. So
That's okay.
well, let's change the rule for Carol.
Right. I mean, it is really, you know, people are very turned off by this. You know, I know a number of people who use the pool have given up because of the parking. And you know, it's not doing any damage. It's not doing any damage.
Well, Carol, you should go to the transportation.
Oh, they don't
committee.
want to hear from me anymore.
All right, well,
I go to the transportation committee about all kinds of things.
all right, well, I don't think Park and Rec's gonna take a stand on this, but thank you, Debbie, for
I just
alerting
wanted
us.
to tell you what was going on. So Carol, look out.
I'll send you my ticket.
All right, we're going quickly to the next thing. Okay.
Can I, sorry, just quickly
ahead.
on a different topic. I was intrigued by the scuba divers email, the East Coast divers email, and I don't see anyone here to speak on public comment. Is that something that we would discuss at a future conversation, or should we just consider it resolved between Tim and the owners of that company?
Yeah, I mean, you saw my response to him. I welcomed him to come and speak to the commission. I expected him tonight, but unfortunately he's not here. So happy to let him know if he wants to get this on the agenda or just invite him again next month for public comment to get his side.
Yeah, just to be clear too, I was contacted by kind of like 3 people indirectly type of thing. And I just said he should come to public comment. So, I mean, that we can't really discuss what we don't really hear his side of, so makes it a little challenging.
So just to leave it at a particular point, we're not going to discuss it unless it's settled for now with Tim and the person who wrote the email. But if he wants to raise it with us, he's welcome to come to our meetings and make a presentation or a plea or discussion or what have you.
That makes the most sense to me.
So, and if he comes, I have questions, but I'm not going to ask them now since he's not here.
Right.
But if other people feel it's important to ask questions about it, they should. Okay, seeing none, we will go to Brookline Comprehensive Plan information. Who's gonna
I'll take this
take
one.
that?
Yeah, so we reached out from the planning department just to make the commission aware and also to make the public statement about the comprehensive plan. So Claire, if that's okay, Jake from planning has asked that I just read the memo publicly out loud for everyone to hear. That's good. All right, so this is from Jake Collins, community planner from the Department of Planning and Community Development. Make your voice heard. The comprehensive plan engagement timeline is February 2nd to March 2nd, 2026. The town of Brookline is asking for your help in shaping its comprehensive plan, the town's leading long-term policy document that will guide land use and community priorities through 2040. Following extensive community engagement in fall of 2024, the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee is seeking input on the draft vision statement, priorities across key areas, including housing, sustainability, and community well-being, and potential growth scenarios. Planning would like to hear from you and asks for your help in spreading the word. Please share this opportunity with your networks, colleagues, and community contacts. The more people who participate, the better the plan will reflect what matters most in Brookline. There are a few ways to get involved before the engagement period closes on March 2nd, and included in the packet of this meeting is this memo, which has the direct links to what I'm mentioning now. There is an online survey, again, a direct link in the packet to share your thoughts anytime from anywhere. And then there's a link to a meeting in a box, which is made to host a small group discussion using the provided activities and guide. The toolkit includes open-ended questions designed to help groups or neighborhoods share what matters most to them. The online survey, meeting in a box materials, and additional information about the comprehensive plan are now available at brooklinecomplan.com. If you can't participate right away, don't worry. This spring, we will be requesting feedback from boards and commissions on draft plan recommendations and strategies that impact the work that you do. The comprehensive plan will help align Brookline's physical design, infrastructure, and public services with the town's social and economic goals, guiding decisions for decades to come. Your participation and your help is encouraging others to participate and is essential for shaping Brookline's future. So again, that memo is in the commission's packet for everybody here, for those direct links, and anybody listening at home, accessible through the town's website, and again with those live active links.
I have one question, because the Brookline Comprehensive Plan, is this a new, we have the open space plan, we have various plans. Is this one been done before and it's every 10 years, or I'm just not familiar with this particular plan?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm happy to follow up with Jake on that to get more of the history with it. My understanding is being updated, but I'm happy to follow up with Jake and provide that for everybody.
I was at a meeting today where Jake was going on about the comprehensive plan. And it seems to me, if I remember it correctly, that the last time the plan was done was 2016. And nothing has been done since then.
So it's a 10-year redo. And Sean Lynn Jones has his hand raised.
Just on this, because I participated in the comprehensive plan when we last had the full process, which was over 20 years ago, although it was updated, as Carol mentioned. And it's sort of the answer to the question about how often we do it is interesting, because for a long time we thought we had to do it every 10 years, just as a requirement under state law. And then someone checked the fine print, I think, and it turned out you didn't have to do it that often. But now we are doing it again for the first time in a comprehensive way, since over 20 years ago. And it's certainly the case that there have been many comprehensive plans over the years. Every time one is done, someone says, this won't just sit on the shelf and gather dust. And then people do tend to forget about them sometimes, and they are updated eventually. But that's the history here, and I still have a huge stack of the documents and appendices and actual plan itself from the last time we did a full one. But this time around, there is a hope that there really are some big issues facing the community that will be worked out in the comprehensive plan, and that's why they're serious in looking for public input.
Thanks, Sean.
I have a
Okay.
question, if it's okay. My question, Tim, you mentioned, and I read that in the document, that it will come back to the boards and commissions. And so what will come back to us? The results of the initial survey, and then that's what we're to discuss. What actually happens when that comes here? I guess that's my question.
So I can't.
And what is it that's coming? Sorry.
Yeah, I can't speak directly to the result piece of it, how that's going to be presented. But I know in my conversations with planning with Jake is that he's likely going to be at one of our meetings, hopefully, to discuss more in depth with the commission process and, like you said, results. So I think we can expect that there'll be a direct presentation in the coming months from them.
Okay, thank you for that.
And then is it something we vote on or support? We'll get a draft. Some people we've supported drafts before, knowing that they're just drafts, that they'll get changed again. So will we see a draft and then a revised copy, et cetera?
My guess is we will, and we'll probably, I don't know if it's a vote, or at least a letter of support once it's complete. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and you don't have anything else for us on the comprehensive plan, right?
Nope, not right now.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the Brookline Recreation Financial Aid Policy Vote of approval as presented at our December meeting. You know, we don't like to vote on things the same meeting they're presented to us. So we'll have a little review of what was presented in December, and then we'll vote.
Great.
So thank you, Tim.
Yep. So just a refresher, I just wanted to point out the few things that that are changing, but again, as a general refresher, every year based on the prior calendar year, the department takes time to run through the financial aid application, and make adjustments where necessary. If you remember back in December, we kind of presented some numbers about the impacts of our financial aid policy. And what we were looking to change because of that, to kind of take some of the financial liabilities off the rec department the best we can, but by also maintaining the services and making sure that all individuals who are seeking rec programs can get them. So really there was only, well, not really, but there was only one removal from the financial aid policy that was presented for this calendar year. And if you recall, that is the vendor program. So these are third-party outside hired vendors who come in on our behalf to run programs. This was probably one of our biggest expenses when it came to financial aid. But as a reminder, this is one of the programs that the department really has no say when it comes to setting pricing. So it was really difficult for us to really have price controls on this. And the change of this would be a projected savings of about $55,000 a year. So a significant impact, but also maintaining that we have additional programming available during the weeks that we usually have vendor programs. So that was the one thing that was taken out. The rest of the adjustments to the financial aid policy were add-ins, which is always great. So the first one being that we are introducing extended day at summer camp this year. So for qualified families who are in our scholarship programs can receive the 50% discount on those extended day days and weeks that they are seeking. We are adding in free equipment rentals for the rec department run programs, or recreation sports that are run through our department, specific to field hockey and lacrosse. If you recall, Jake, our sports programmer in our department, received a grant from the Brookline Athletic Association that we could start a sports locker pretty much for individuals looking for additional help when it came to scholarships, but also equipment. So breaking down further barrier for the more expensive programs that we have when it comes to equipment, being field hockey and lacrosse. With the merger of Brookline Adult and Community Ed, we're adding in a 35% discount off of those for qualified individuals. The golf club has spent time building up their stock of rentals, so now we can offer free golf club rentals for our qualified individuals and families in our system. And then also we introduced the season passes for the Crane ice skating rink on an individual basis and a family basis. So anybody interested, again, who is in our system as qualified for financial aid can receive those passes. So a whole bunch of add-ons, but just that one takeaway for the 2026 financial aid policy.
Tim, do you have more slides? I don't
Nope,
want
that's
to.
it. Sorry.
Okay, so you have a certain number of scholarships available. So from reading the material, you have them available, but you still couldn't offer scholarships to everyone who wanted them. Is that correct for the camp?
No, we offered scholarships to everybody who qualified and everybody who reached out. So we didn't turn anybody away.
Okay, that's
The scholarships, just to, I guess, a further refresher, we're focusing more on the programs, or we're solely focusing on the programs that we run out of the rec department, things that we can plan accordingly financially. So the impact is not as great as such as a third-party vendor where we have no control. So that was the reason of just pulling out the vendor piece. But no family has been turned away to date.
and that's true for summer camp?
Correct. Yep, we offer up to 4 weeks of summer camp to anybody who needs it. Yep.
That's fantastic. And just for the record, can you tell me how many options or third-party vendor this is outside of summer camp, which is all in-house, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So can you tell me how many offerings are by third-party vendors and approximately how many offerings are by town?
So I'll do my best. So summer-wise, we offer 7 to 8 weeks of in-house programming for summer camps and programming. Those are matched up with vendors as well. So there's 7 weeks there. So that balances out offerings of need when it comes to childcare. And then over the course of the school year, per season, we probably see 10 to 15 vendor programs that we would contract out, in contrast to many more in-house across, all of our facilities as well as programmers. So a small percentage. If you want something specific, I'm happy to do a follow-up on that for you.
No, but I mean, it's not 50-50, it's
Oh,
less
yeah.
than 50.
But yeah, not by any means. So.
Okay, all right, that's what I was sort of curious about. Thank you. Any other questions from commissioners? And the environmental camps, I forget, they don't have scholarships,
They
correct?
do. Yep, they
They
do.
do?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So do you have something you want to put up that we're gonna make a motion to pass? We have to, or how
Right, yeah,
how
so
do
I
you
would
want
just
the vote?
make a motion to pass the adjustments as presented, I guess would be.
Because those are the only changes?
Correct, those are the only changes. Yep.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to make a motion to vote on the updated financial assistance plan.
So do you want to say vote on, do you want to vote to approve? So a yes
Oh,
is.
I'm sorry, a vote to approve the updated financial assistance plan for recreation.
Fantastic. All right, I will call the roll. Yes, as we
We
approve.
need a
what-
second.
Want a second?
Yeah, we need a
Oh, yeah,
second.
we do need a second. Sorry.
Happy to second.
Debbie seconds it. All right, I'm going to call the commissioners' names as you appear on your screen. Debbie,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes,
Michael,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
that passed. I think it's the changes you made are really good, Tim.
Yeah,
Or
thank you,
that the
Tim.
town
That's
made.
great.
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
Wonderful.
nice program. Nice changes too.
Okay. The next one, we have the CPA, Community Preservation Act projects update, the grants that were received and status of projects. So Amelia, are you going to do these for where we stand on the ones sort of since the initial starting of CPA, the Park and Open Space has received quite a few grants and they're in various stages of implementation. So Amelia's going to go through those and we can talk a little bit about the ones that will be presented to town meeting this spring, but go ahead, Amelia.
Yeah, that sounds good. So we have been getting our CPA projects, since FY25, and the FY25 projects, we are, working really hard to wrap those up, but I think few of those, we would have to ask for extensions. So I'll go over those. So for, oh wait, you can see my screen right now, correct? Okay, perfect. So we had two projects under FY25 for open space and recreation. The first one was the tree inventory and pruning, where it really primarily focused on Walnut Hill Cemetery and Lawrence Anderson Park. So just to provide some context, the town has a really robust tree inventory data for our trees along public right of the way, but we still really needed to work on build our tree inventory for our parks and other public spaces and schools. So this was the goal, with this grant back in FY25, and you'll see this tree inventory repeated every year. So for tree inventory, we did complete Walnut Hill Cemetery and Lawrence Anderson Park. Those were hundreds of trees, which is really, amazing for us to keep track of the health of the trees. And in addition to that, we had some funds available specifically for the tree inventory category, and we went back to the CPA admin and CPA committee to request, with that surplus funding, to add inventory of other locations. So I'm very excited to share that we added inventory for 19 other locations for our parks and open spaces. So, that really helped us to get close to, having an up-to-date inventory for almost all of our open spaces. So, that was a huge step forward for us, and the work is ongoing and is very close to being done right now, and we hope to wrap that up by spring this year. And as part of this CPA grant, we had also, gotten approval for some pruning and hazardous removal, and all the hazardous removal at Walnut Hill Cemetery is complete. A part of the cemetery's trees on the, I believe on the eastern side, the pruning has been completed, and this winter and spring we'll be working on pruning the south side. And again, as part of this grant, we are also going to be planting new trees at Walnut Hill Cemetery and also at Lars, which we hope to complete this spring. And same thing in Lars Anderson, as I mentioned, we have done part 1 of the hazardous removal, and we're working on now the second part of the hazardous removal. And we'll be looking into adding new trees, both again over the winter and spring period. And again, this again, FY25, typically for CPA grant, we have 2 years for the grant to complete, and we feel confident that we'll be able to complete this tree inventory and pruning grant by June 30, 2026. So essentially this summer.
Mealy, I have to ask you, I thought we can do inventory and removal. We don't do pruning under this grant.
Correct. You are
because
correct.
you can't do maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. You're correct, Clara. And this first year is where, we didn't fully know that. And then we were allowed to do pruning because, as part of the grant, we got the approval to do that. But going forward, you'll see from FY26 and 27, we don't have the pruning included at all. Because so only for this year we were allowed to do that, but going forward, yes, you're correct.
Okay.
The second grant that we have for FY25 is Lars Anderson Historic and Cultural Landscape Inventory. So essentially the report, the Cultural Landscape Report, which again we're super excited to kick this off. And I think I had mentioned this last time as well, that Kyle's Landscape Architects, who's really highly experienced in doing cultural landscape reports, has taken this project on, and we've been working with them since January this year to kind of help them set up and do some background research and provide information. And this late winter, they'll be starting to set up meetings with town staff first, and also with a few key members from Friends of Lars Anderson Park, and that will then take in to a larger public forum later in spring. So work is happening, and again, this will be a really key report for us to do essentially anything in future at Lars, and also I think will position us really well for future historic grants. And Clara, this is one project where we will have to go back to CPA committee and ask for extension. I need to figure out what the process is with CPA admin, because again, we, based on the amount of work Galzic has to do, right now the projected completion is fall 2026. So this will get an extension. So moving on to our CPA projects for FY26. Tim, do you want to provide a brief update on Putterham Woods first?
Yep. So part of CPA approvals for this fiscal year was the trail enhancements for Putterham Woods, specifically trailheads to go along with the construction that we've completed this past fall. So in the spring, we are planning to complete this piece of the project. For the completion of the trailheads, that includes everything from entry signs, trail map signs, some environmental signage as you walk throughout, waste receptacles, bike racks, tables and chairs, things of that nature, to make the both entrances of the trail system easily accessible and looking nice. So the plan, we have it already in place with the contractor to come back in the spring. So spring 26, that'll be complete.
Great. And for parks and open space, as you can see, for FY26, we had quite a bit of projects, and some really huge and some small. And there are like few that's ongoing, work has started, but few, as I'll go through, it has not started yet. So the first one for parks, which is, again, really major, we're all super excited to kick this off, is the Lars Anderson Park outdoor ice rink design and design review process. We have right now, shortlisted a designer who's Marianne Thompson, and OPM, who's Accenture. After following all the interviews and RFP evaluations we did with the committee of 7. And right now, again, as I mentioned, we're working to negotiate and finalize contracts with them. And, again, we're hoping that by, next few weeks, we'll get closer to finalizing the contract so that sometime in March, they can start the work and start the public process. And for this one, I just also want to mention that the committee of 7 who selected the designer, OPM, has been dissolved. And, at some point, the select board would have to appoint a new committee to do the design review process, which will include members of the public. So I do not have more information or timeline on that right now, but I'm sure at some point I'll be coming back. Tim and I will be coming back to the commission, for someone to be appointed. So the next two items, Coolidge Playground Tennis Court and Ridley Tennis Court design. These are both funds for design of the tennis court, and we have not started these yet, and we hope to get the RFP out to finalize the consultant to do the work sometime this fall. The next one up is the community garden at Elliott Recreation Center. We have been working, with our landscape architects and with Tim and, recreation team to finalize the construction documents. And we hope to, we're aiming for a summer construction, with a goal to open up the garden for fall. And as I mentioned, FY26 also has the tree inventory and hazardous removal. So for tree inventory, we have, Harry Downs, Elliott, and Wallstein. That's ongoing, and I would say almost complete, and will be, wrapped up this spring. And over the course of summer and fall, we'll be evaluating trees, any hazardous trees that might need removal. The next big one for us for FY26 is Amory Woods Boardwalk design and construction. This has been ongoing in parallel to the Amory Playground and Hallspawn Boardwalk construction work. So far for Amory Woods, helical piles have been installed. There were a few extra scope items we went back to the CPA committee for. That was part of the larger Amory Woods and the Hallspawn Sanctuary project, where we will be now doing a fence restoration, replacement and restoration along the edge of the parking lot. We'll be looking at some hazardous removal within the sanctuary, because there was also recently when our arborist and tree warden evaluated the trees, we've flagged few ones that could potentially be a hazard and public safety issue. So we just want to make sure that, when the sanctuary opens in summer, we want to make sure that people are safe. In addition to that, the whole point of this project for Amory Woods and Halls Pond is to really make these ADA accessible. And again, like in our evaluation, we realized that the stone dust path within the sanctuary is not fully accessible, primarily because it's old and it's kind of like beyond like maintenance, and it really needs to be reset and redone. So we are again like hoping to get that done as part of this project. So again, like exciting things. Right now, I'll mention this again later in my construction update, that because of snow, the construction is paused, but we hope to again like start this back up in March, and hopefully all the snow melts by then. So the next 3 projects here you see are invasive species removal and management projects as various sanctuaries and parks, so which is all led by sustainability and natural resources. So the team is working to secure quotes for all 3 of these projects, and the timeline varies from summer and fall, or spring and summer this year. So again, exciting things happening there. And finally, for FY26 under historic preservation category, Tim, you want to provide update on Patterham Woods?
Yep. So at the golf course in our clubhouse, we do have historical windows. Those windows were removed and are currently being restored actively. Our plan, or the schedule right now, is to have them reinstalled. It's looking like the 2nd week of March. So they will be ready to go for the reopening of the restaurant. They'll be ready to go for the spring for the reopening of the course. So those are actively ongoing, and looking forward to getting those back in.
Great. And then 2 projects for parks under historic preservation: Foster Fence restoration at Old Bearing Ground, and Minnow Rose Garden trellis renovation. We're actively working to get a contractor on board to just like kick those projects off. And I see hand raised by Carol. Carol, did you have a question on these?
Yeah, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in what is the difference between the tennis courts at the Coolidge Playground and at Ridley? I don't know where the Coolidge Playground is.
Coolidge Playground, so it's like off of like Harbor Street, like few blocks off of Harbor Street, I would say north of Coolidge Corner. So there's a tennis court in the Coolidge Playground, which has been, in a really tough situation. And
But isn't that the Ridley tennis court design?
So Ridley Tennis Court is like separate. It's at the Ridley School. And then
But there are 2 tennis courts at Ridley School now that are
exactly
in a terrible mess.
Yes, exactly. And both of those tennis courts from Ridley will be taken care of. But then the Coolidge Playground tennis court is an entirely different location, Carol.
Where is it?
Let me look up.
It's off of Kenwood Street, Carol.
Okay. Down near Russell and Kent. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
I never know what the name of that playground is. There's a tennis court there?
There is.
Yes, in one corner, the opposite of Kenwood Street. It's the other side.
The other question I had is on the community gardens. How many new spaces are there going to be?
I can't remember exactly the number, Carol. I want to say 12,
more or less.
Around 15 is like what I want to say.
Yeah.
15?
I was going to say 12 to 15.
12 to 15, yeah, that sounds about right. And some of those will be accessible spots as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll keep going. So for CPA projects for FY27, we have 3 projects that we're applying for. One under historic preservation, which is the Old Bearing Ground tomb restoration, where, we have renovated, restored part one of the domes, and then we want to be able to restore the remaining. And we have been actively working with Structures North, our consultant, on construction documents. So this is really great timing. Like the construction documents are going to be wrapping up, and and then once this gets approved by town meeting, like we hope to kick right in to do the construction and implementation. So again, like I'm very excited to share that like all three of these projects have been approved by the CPA committee to move forward to town meeting this spring for the final approval and votes. So similar to that, the previous three inventory projects, like we do have a few parks that we have remaining to do inventory for, which we would like to take care of as part of this grant, and also look into hazardous removal for those parks. And in addition to that, the Lars Anderson Park green infrastructure, drainage improvement, and ecological restoration projects, have also been approved. And again, we're super excited about moving this forward as well. This will essentially look at the 2 wet meadows that exist at the park, and and to see like how that can be expanded, and invasives within that wet meadow could be removed, and the additional native plantings could be added, and how that can also dovetail all the drainage and stormwater runoff that's happening around the site, and essentially become a working wet meadow to kind of like act as a sponge, and kind of soak in the runoff and clean the water before it moves to the larger drainage system. So as part of this project, we will look into hiring an external consultant to prepare construction documents that we can hopefully in the near future go for implementation and construction. So that's all the updates I have for CPA. Do you all have any questions?
I would just like to add one comment that was a a small open space area that was not submitted by either park and open space or recreation is a park between the public health building and
Yes.
Harvard Street. And the public health building thought, oh, that'd be a great place for their employees as well as people, public from Harvard Street in the Brookline Village area. It's very close to St. Mary's, across the street from St. Mary's, if you can envision that. And they ran into some problems sort of getting the design done, et cetera. So Park and Open Space has done a wonderful job to volunteer and say, we can design it for you, and they will put it out to bid and sort of oversee the implementation of that park, which I think will be a real addition along Harvard Street. And that's being done in-house for the design, and then it will go out to bid. So I think that'll be done by next summer.
Yes, that's correct, Clara. Thank you so much for bringing that up, and I completely forgot about adding that in my slideshow. So, again, like we have actually received a few bids. We did go out for bid, just for labor, and 2 out of the 3 people that we requested to submit bids like did not provide their bids because they were just like too busy, I guess, with their workload. So there was someone who did provide their numbers, and we're excited about like where it landed. And the parks is actually, in addition to design, also buying all furnishings and materials for the project. So this contractor is truly only providing labor. So, it just like makes the process very efficient given the size of the project and the timeline that we wanted to complete it by. So we're very excited, and there will also be a public community planting day associated with that, with the pollinator garden in the project. So I'll share more information as we get closer to summer.
And I did want to add one other note, because we voted to approve it and it was not approved by the Community Preservation Act Committee, and that was to do a study of the bridges along the Emerald Necklace, the part of Emerald Necklace. There were far more there was requests for more money than the CPA had for this year. So other things were turned down, but that did not pass. Part of the problem was that a lot of the bridges under consideration, I think there were 7, and maybe 5 of those were half in, I'm sure Sean will correct me because I'm getting all the numbers wrong, but anyway, half are in Brookline and half of the bridge was in the city of Boston. And Boston would not use any of their CPA money to fund this, nor would they use any of their budgetary money, any of their park money to fund it. And I think there are real concerns about that. And one approach was to say, well, let's do the study, and that'll let the city of Boston know how much work is needed. They could budget for it, et cetera. And that just came up against a lot of pushback. And so I think I hope the Park and Open Space works with the city of Boston between now and next year, because those bridges do need work. And so the hope is that this is not a no forever, but it's a no for now until we get some more buy-in from Boston. So since we did, as a commission, vote on the ones we proposed, I thought you should know what happened to the one that didn't go forward. So thank you. And then Carol, this is a new hand?
Yes, this is a new hand.
Okay.
I have a question about the park at the Public Health Building. There's a memorial in that park, and I'm wondering, what is that going to be moved, or what is going to happen with that?
That will stay as it is, Carol. We're not touching that. We're
okay.
really only focused on the plaza off of Harvard.
Okay, thank you.
And it will be accessible from Harvard, just so you know.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Clara.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. So we're going to the next. I gotta find myself where we are. We're now on the Sewell Early Learning Center. We have someone here, I think, who's going to speak to us. So I will let Tim introduce that person and take it from here.
Great. Thanks, Clara. So over the last year, we've taken time with our meetings to help introduce and promote the rec department's programming and staff, specifically to the commission. You hear me speak a lot about the programming and accomplishments that we have, but as always, we think it's important to make sure that our staff themselves have time to join us and talk more about their programs and their responsibilities. So tonight we're going to focus on Sewell, the early education center that falls under Brookline Recreation. With a lot of our conversations over the last year being about the new courtyard, I think it's time we talk about the work that goes on inside that building. So, from my perspective, when we talk about programming and program participation and our reach to the residents in Brookline, we always take pride in mentioning that we offer programs from pre-K all the way through seniors. And when we think about the preschoolers and we think about toddlers starting, their journey with Brookline Rec and growing up with Brookline Rec, it really starts at Sewell. And Sewell has a great opportunity to start that experience for us. It represents one of the more unique offerings that Brookline Recreation has, as you will hear. But we're lucky tonight to be joined by Alexis Jones. Alexis is part of our leadership team here at the Rec Department. She serves as our Assistant Director of Sewell, responsible for assisting the overall operations and staffing over at the center. So I will stop talking, and Alexis, I will turn it over to you. And she has a presentation to make for you all.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. Let me just share my screen. Hold on. I've never done this before, so give me a second. Content. Okay. And then, oh, sorry, guys. All right. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
So as Tim mentioned, I am the assistant director here at Sewell, and I'm excited to tell you guys a little bit about what we do here. So here at Sewell, we are a small community-centered early childhood program that feels really personal. So a lot of our families are able to make and build relationships with our staff as well as the other families who attend Sewell. We have 5 classrooms here. We have 3 preschool rooms and then 2 toddler classrooms, and then we serve about 72 children. Our ages start from 15 months and then go through 5 years old. So our toddler program is 15 months to 2.8. And then at 2.9, the children will transition into one of the preschool classrooms, which is where they typically remain for the remaining time with us. So we offer year-round programming. So for the school year, September through June, we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And then in the summer, we offer a summer program for July and August, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And families, when they sign up, they have the option to sign up for full day, which is the 8 to 4, or half day options, which is Monday through Friday, 8 to 12:30. So our school's really unique because the building that we are in is also the original carriage and stable house for the John G. Wright estate, which is cool because it was built in 1897. I know many of the families that we tour, they say like, oh, we drive by, we never actually come inside. And then when they come inside, they're like pleasantly surprised by how big the space is. It's cool because we have some beams that are exposed and some walls that are angled in a pretty cool way. So I kind of broke down our environment into indoor and outside because here at Sewell, we do believe that the environment is the third teacher. So we're very intentional with the way that we set it up and display it. So all of our classrooms have their safe environment. They have many windows where we welcome natural light into the space. We have furniture that is made for the size of the children. We also have materials that are displayed on the children's eye level. This is very intentional. We want the classrooms to feel like an extension of home. And so we don't want it to feel too overwhelming. We want the children to feel like this is a space that was designed for them. Here at Sewell, we're pretty fortunate because we have a lot of land. So we also have a gymnasium, which is here on the slide as well, that the children get to use when they are unable to go outside because it is a bit cold. So for our outside environment, this year we really invested in updating our courtyard, as Tim had mentioned, as well as doing some renovations to our kitchen. So this photo at the bottom is our courtyard when it was renovated or completely finished. And actually we added some finishing touches. We have a new sandbox, which the families really love. I added a photo of the kiddos playing in it. To welcome and kind of break in our new courtyard, we hosted a grand opening, which was really nice. We welcomed families, we had hot cocoa. This was also around the time where we had some new families join us at Sewell, so it was an opportunity for new families to interact with current families and have an opportunity to get to meet some of the teachers that they may not have known. In addition to this space, we also use a playground that's directly behind us. And then in the summer, we use the splash pad as well. So for our philosophy, we are Montessori and Reggio inspired, and that means that we believe that children are capable human beings who learn best through real world experiences. So the children who attend Sewell, they're not just listening and sitting, they're exploring, they're building, they're creating, they're problem solving, they're making meaning of the materials that are given to them. Our curriculum is emergent, so it's pretty much how it sounds. The teachers will take observations based off of the kids' interest and then build a curriculum for the week based off of that. We also have a big focus on nature. So the teachers will, any opportunity that they can, bring nature into the classroom. We also work with Autumn as well, and she comes and provides nature programming once a month to the individual classrooms. And then we also focus heavily on social and emotional development. So the teachers are always talking to the children about their feelings, giving them language to express how they're feeling to either us or their peers. Each of the classrooms also have what we call a cozy corner, which is pictured above, which is typically a space. In this room, they have kind of like an artificial fish tank that kind of blows air bubbles. In some of the other classrooms, we may have headphones for children who might be a little bit overstimulated. And then we also provide some sensorial materials as well for children who are seeking a sensory input. So for our programming, we believe that when you blend play with structure, academics happens naturally. So that's kind of the guide that we use for the works and the activities that the teachers put together. So a typical schedule for a child here at Sewell will always consist of outdoor time, art and sensory experiences, community experiences, intentionally planned works. And works is just another word or another way to say an activity, and then specialists depending on the day. So each day, every classroom has what they call a work period, and that's an opportunity for the children to either engage in a collaborative work or an independent work, depending on the time. And then also for the specialists, depending on the day, it could be a little bit different. So we have Miss Francesca, who comes in once a month and does yoga with all of our kids, toddler through preschool. We have Autumn, as I mentioned, who also comes in and does nature programming. We also have Miss Emily, who comes in every Thursday and does music with the individual classrooms. And then in the winter, we go ice skating at the ice skating rink up the street from here, which is also really nice because many families will come and join us to go ice skating with their kiddo, or also even just be like an extra set of hands on the ice. So our staff is really what makes Sewell a special place. Many of our staff have been here for a long time. We do have some tenured staff as well. We have about 16 staff members on our team, and we recently have hired 5 new full-time lead teachers, and that's basically to create and strengthen consistency for the children in our classroom, as well as maintain those low ratios that we have here. So for many of our families, Sewell is their first connection to Brookline Rec and often the front door into the department. So we really try to create and maintain strong family partnerships. We're always welcoming families into our classrooms. Any opportunity that we get. So whenever a child's birthday comes, we do something called a birthday walk where the family will come in and they'll share photos of the child at each developmental milestone, and then they'll read their child's favorite book. We also have families come in depending on the topics that the classrooms are learning about. So in the past, we've had dentists or physicians come in and kind of give a lesson to the kids about whatever they're learning. This photo up top is actually a photo from our not our open house, I'm sorry, from our courtyard grand opening. We got a lot of positive feedback about that. Everyone was really happy, if you can't tell in the photo. We also collaborate with Brookline Rec, and then we always are trying to create community-based care. So if there's something that we want to change in the center or something that we're curious about, we will send out a survey to our families kind of saying, hey, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like this is a need? And then we'll take their feedback into consideration when deciding things to implement in the center. So thinking ahead and some things that we're looking forward to that's new here at Sewell. We're excited to start swimming lessons again at the Aquatic Center. So this alone makes Sewell different than many other preschools around. There's not many preschools that offer swimming lessons during the day for our preschoolers. So this is something we're very excited about. We're also excited to continue to grow our school, and we actually will be starting to offer extended day in the next school year for 2026. So the extended day would be from 4 to 5 o'clock. And then actually next week we are hosting an open house. So if you know anybody who's looking for childcare or just looking to learn a little bit more about Sewell, I welcome you to share this flyer. It's going to be a really great opportunity to meet some of our staff members and then just also see the building. And that is it. Thank you guys for having me, and we would love to have you all come by and pay us a visit.
Great. Thank you, Alexis. And just, kudos to you as we always talk about, and to the whole team there. As mentioned at the top, this offering that a recreation department can really provide a school-based program like this is so unique to our town, and we're so fortunate to be able to do it through our department. And it's the hard work of Alexis and Brittany, the director over there, and Karen, the curriculum developer, and really all the full-time staff that we're able to hold on to and work with that make that program wonderful. But again, we spent a lot of time talking about the courtyard, so I'm glad we got some time to talk about the program. So if anybody has any questions about it, I welcome them for Alexis. Carol, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. I mean, this looks like a spectacular program. And how do people apply, and how are choices made of who's going to be admitted?
Yeah, so everyone, so typically on our website, we have an admissions interest form. We have some families who fill it out and some who just call us directly. So the first step would be the admissions interest form, which kind of just asks some generic questions like, when would you like to start? Kind of how old your kiddo is? Do you know anything about the philosophy? Just kind of gives me a little bit of information for when I do the tour. Once we do the tour, they sign up on Kaizen. And then it's pretty much straightforward as far as enrollment. We typically will start a wait list if we get full. Families who have a child here and then they want the younger sibling to come, they automatically get priority. But that's pretty much how we choose as far as kind of who gets to come and who doesn't. And it is Brookline residents who come to our school. So.
Is there a fee?
Yes. So tuition is based off of schedule and age group. If you want, I'm happy to kind of send you our tuition breakdown, but just kind of for a scale. So the cheapest it would be $1,203, and that's for our preschool program, half day, and then it could go up all the way up to $2,699. But again,
and that's for how much time? The 1,000.
So that's going to be September through June.
Wow.
But we do offer like financial aid through the town, and then we also do accept vouchers as well. So we have families as well who use vouchers.
And that's a per month cost.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, it's a per month.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. I was going to say 6 months.
We were going to sign up. It was such a good deal.
I'm ready.
I was going to sign up. We're back in preschool.
Now you must have a waiting list.
Right now we don't. We do have a few slots available, but we also have seen an uptick in interest as well. So typically we do have a waiting list though.
And
thank you. It looks wonderful.
It looks terrific. My question is, if you're not full, do you take children who aren't Brookline residents, or is it strictly Brookline residents?
So we kind of see how many slots that we have available. We do like to leave slots available for Brookline residents. That being said, if there is a slot that we feel like, okay, it would be okay, then we will accept a child who is a non-Brookline resident.
Okay. But it's primarily.
Yes, it's
okay.
primarily Brookline residents.
Thank you. But I'd like to be young again and go. It looks fun. It looks very nice.
Very nice. Very comfortable.
Thanks, Alexis.
Get
Okay.
yoga in, you'd get skating
Thank you,
in.
Alexis.
No problem.
Tim, do you have anything else, or should?
No, I just, as we go through these presentations with our staff, just thank you to the commission for allowing us to give you a deeper understanding of what we do under the rec department. And again, hats off, Alexis, to everything you're doing, and thank you for sticking around and speaking with us today.
Thank
Get
you.
home safe. It's starting to snow.
Thank
So.
you.
Thank you, Alexis.
Yes, thanks.
Thank
It's
you.
really helpful, I think, for all commissioners just to be as knowledgeable as possible about all that goes on. And
Right.
something popped up on my screen, so now I can't see you guys. Anyway, so there we go. The next item is Park and Open Space update from Mili.
Okay, so I'm excited to share about our Parks and Open Space Division update for February. I'll start off with our staffing update. We're still looking for forestry supervisor position, and again, this has been one of the tough ones, and all forestry positions have been tough ones. So again, we're optimistic and hopeful, and hope to have this filled in the near future. So I'll start off also with, on project updates with where we stand on a few of our construction projects right now, starting with Pierce Playground. Again, the tree work has started back in fall, and geothermal work is ongoing, and it will, the goal is to open the field up in fall of this year. So the work is ongoing, and I know the snow has probably created some pause to that. And similar to that, like at Amory Playground, all construction is on hold due to the weather. The contractor was braving the cold back in December and January before this major snowstorm to still continue to work on the boardwalk within Halls Pond and Amory Woods. But again, with so much snow on the ground, it's been paused, and we hope that they can start back up again early March. So just a quick reminder that few of the work that is remaining for this project is completing the decking and railing for Halls Pond, and for tennis court we have most of the work done, but the final surface prep and installation of nets and windscreens and final pathway paving around it, and loaming and seeding of lawn and planting is remaining. And similar to that, at the parking lot, we will be working on final curb installation, final paving for parking and walkways, and again, the lawn loaming and seeding and planting. And few other site work items that we have remaining are final pathway paving, railing installation, and lawn and planting and furnishing installation. So I just also wanted to share that, again, we still have construction fence around all the work that we had ongoing around this, where you see the dashed line around the parking lot and the new pathways. But as you all know, Avery is also a super popular sledding hill. And the images, I just wanted to share with you all the two images here that shows how the construction site had been completely demolished by sledders. So just a reminder again that, while this is a popular location for sledding, we also have to be mindful of the construction fence. But luckily, as people kind of sled through the construction area, no one was hurt. But this is a real safety issue, and just wanted to bring this to the commission's attention that this happened. And then you can also see that after this, the aftermath of sledding was also a lot of litter, which our park ranger and our staff had to spend quite a bit of time to clean up. So I'll provide some some kind of comment on littering in the next upcoming slides as well. Schick Park, again, similar to Amory, the contractor had been working through December and also January for the play equipment installation, which is like near completion, but it's not fully complete yet. But again, all of that is on pause right now due to the weather. But similar to Amory, we hope that the contractor is going to be able to come back early March, after the snow melts, and work on completing the playground installation and work on the safety surfacing for the playground, paving for the basketball court, and also completing the remainder of the site work, which includes the loop path paving, installation of irrigation, loam and seeding the lawn and planting, and also fence installation and furnishing. So again, like hoping for the Arctic freeze to end soon, which is not a good thing for Tim, but good thing for Parks. Okay, so a few other construction, like design and documentation project updates. Monmouth Park Phase 2, we are anticipating to go out to bid end of February, first week of March, with the hopes to get the contract signed by sometime in April, end of April, with work starting this spring. And similar to that, Skyline Park, we are moving again towards the 100% CDs, and before all of the work starts, we would be going out to Concom for their approval of the project. And we currently only have one project in design review process, which is Craigs Park, and the next DRC will be held on March 5th at 6 p.m. And we are really close to completing the design review process. In the last meeting, 3 playground options were presented, and one playground option was finalized, and we hope to go back to the committee on March 5th to review that final design of the playground, and also share some updates on drainage and stormwater that we've been working with our consultant and also town staff. We hope to get the final approval from the DRC during this meeting. And if that happens, like next month, we will come back to the commission to provide updates to everyone and get, hopefully get an approval as well. I also wanted to share a brief update on Cypress Field at the high school on the ball field. So we had received a feedback from the high school softball, baseball coaches that currently, because there isn't any markers on the outfield, there's been some issues in figuring out what's a home run versus not a home run. So the coaches there have requested us, to allow them to put some sort of temporary fence on the outfield. So for that, what we'll be doing is Parks will be installing a sleeve in ground to receive the fence posts, and the coaches will bring in the temporary fence only during games. Where when the baseball or softball will be ongoing, but then once the game is over, they will take it out so that soccer and other other activities won't be impeded by that. So again, I just wanted to give you all an update on this. And other updates, just again, a reminder that our Green Dog program renewals began back in December 2025 and is ongoing, through February and March. So just a reminder for everyone to renew their licenses. And snow updates. So as you all know, a big part of what Parks and Open Space crew does is to contribute towards snow removal. So, really highway and sanitation, Kevin Johnson, who's the director of highway sanitation and, deputy commissioner for operations, his team really leads all of the snow operations and snow removal throughout the town, and Parks Crew provides key contribution to that. And we really work with the highway staff, highway team to ensure that specifically all the walkways within schools are cleared. For instance, like tonight we have a small snow event, but there are teams out there prepping, for the snow, and our teams are going to be here tomorrow bright and early at 3 a.m. to make sure that all school entries and walkways and pathways are clear. So again, it's a huge team effort, and really in snow events like this, it's really amazing to see how all of DPW comes together and collaborates together to really make it safe for everyone, out there. So kudos to the whole team for all the hard work they put in. And like I said earlier, sledding is fun, and we have some really, really popular parks for sledding, including Lars Anderson, Wallstein, and Elliott and Amory. But what we also see consistently after sledding is a lot of sledding crash. So when sleds break and people bring cardboards to sled, is typically all left at the park. So just like, again, reminder to ensure that we want to keep our parks clean for everyone to enjoy. And that's it for me. Any questions so far?
Thank you, Millie. Debbie has a question, and Carol has a question.
Millie, what are you going to do about Amory with the construction and the fence there? I mean, summer's just the winters, now we're getting more snow, and I really feel for you.
Yeah, so what we've done, the contractor has gone back and tried to secure the fences a bit more. And what we can do, at least on our end, is to put up more signage about, the fact that it's a construction zone, and, the safety, and just trying to create some awareness with signage. So we've done that. But again, we'll be monitoring Amory area definitely a little bit more closely to ensure that, people stay safe. It's great to have fun as long as you're staying safe.
Thank you.
Thanks. Carol?
Yeah, I have a question about Mammoth Park. What is this bid that they're out for? My understanding was that they were finished with everything except for some of the playground equipment. Is that what the bid is?
Yeah, no. The playground equipment installation was what we did last year, and that is actually complete. So the second part is actually looking into some of the wall restoration that's inside the park, like fence restoration and repaving, right? Some of the entry plaza at entry to the Brookline Arts Center, and then planting, adding irrigation.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Carol. Okay, seeing no more questions, we'll move on to the Recreation Department update.
All right, just a few things to go over tonight. First and foremost, we're back. We're hiring. We are thinking of warmer months. So we are now hiring for summer camp directors, summer camp counselors, both for our day camps and our nature camps. All that information is on our website, as well as the town website under Human Resources. So if you know anybody looking for a summer job, we would love to have an interview and see the interest. So all summer positions right now with Drew and Autumn's programs are open for hiring. Programming update, kind of going off of that, summer camp and summer programming is now open to the public for registration. We opened last week to great success. So if you are still looking for something to do with your kiddos to get them out of the house, we are the perfect spot for you. So summer programming is open, and additionally, all spring programming as well across the entire department is open as well. So outside of camps, all of our enrichment programs, all of our spring sports, nature programs, A through Z are open as well. Register.brooklinerec.com is our website. So if you're looking for something to do, take a look, and I'm sure we have something for you. So everything is open for registration. One of the many unique things that the Recreation Department does do is that we are in charge of the permitting and the reservations of the barbecue table, picnic tables, and shelters across town in our parks in partnership with Parks and Open Space. And that rental period has opened. So these are rentals that take place in the spring through the fall, specifically April 18th through October 12th. So if you were looking to have a family outing, if you're looking to have a family reunion or a party or a wedding, all the shelters and all the spaces for these upcoming seasons are now available. So same website, register.brooklinerec.com. Again, if you're looking for a picnic table, barbecue site, our shelter that can fit up to 85 individuals at Lars Anderson. If you're looking to get married at Lars, Temple of Love is open for reservation. And then over at Skyline Park, there's a shelter as well that we permit out. So if anybody's interested, go on our website or just give us a call, and we're happy to tell you what we have available and get you permitted so you can plan your event. As we discussed at the top of the meeting, briefly, cross-country skiing at the golf course happened and is happening. This was a concept that Justin had many, many years ago. Once formed, it never snowed. But now it has snowed, it is currently snowing, and we are having tremendous success with his team out there, grooming those trails specific for cross-country skiing, welcoming the community and residents and non-residents to our space to cross-country ski, to snowshoe, and just generally walk the course during these cold times. So it is open to the public, resident and non-residents. It is free to anybody who is interested. Our pro shop is open from 9 to 4. If you're looking for rentals, we do have rentals, boot, ski, and snowshoe rentals coming out of there for additional cost. And like I said, we're seeing great numbers, and it's gradually growing over time. This past weekend, we hit 125 individuals on Saturday who joined us, which was really great. So that was our highest benchmark there. And we found out that we were featured on WGBH as one of the things to do this winter outside of Boston. So we actually had a couple groups from Worcester come to us Saturday and say that they heard about us on WGBH and they wanted to check it out. So really, really good stuff down there right now. Really exciting. It's fun to go down the parkway and glance into the golf course and see it full of people making their way around the trails. So our yellow trail, it's a quick map on the screen. Yellow and green are open. The blue trail kind of goes into the construction. So that is not open, but there's still plenty of loops available and plenty of space to explore when it comes to cross-country skiing. And as Millie mentioned, and as I just mentioned, our construction is ongoing. And even though it's been incredibly cold, it's working to our advantage. Our construction crews have been out there every single day through the cold and through the snow. As you can see, they're literally plowing the fairways and plowing the cart paths so that they can get in. We are on schedule for what was planned for our spring opening. And this picture was taken yesterday. This is that main channel that we've been talking about forever, kind of the main line that runs through the entire golf course that was broken. They broke ground on that officially this week. So that was really exciting to see. So construction is ongoing, is going really, really well. We're seeing little issues. We're taking out a lot of material as we expected, but really good work down there, and we're excited to see it continue. Over at the ice rink, as you would imagine, this cold weather, as much as we don't like it, is wonderful for creating ice. So our surface has been tremendous. Angel and Frankie and the whole team from Parks and Open Space are doing just an incredible job at maintaining the surfaces and Parks and Open Space in general, working through the snowstorms and the varying temperatures to make sure that our facility is ready to go for the public. So we're continuing. We're going to go as long as we can. I just wanted to highlight for the public that next week for school vacation on Monday, the Highland Street Foundation out of Newton is a yearly supporter of our rink. Over February break every year, they rent out the rink and they offer it open for free for residents and non-residents to give individuals, families, and children something to do over the break. So if you're interested on Monday, looking for something to do, It is free from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. for anybody looking to do open skate. Skate rentals, you still have to purchase, but admission to the rink is free and covered through that. So that is wonderful. And as always, we are thankful to that foundation for putting this on. And then outside of that, we'll maintain our open skate hours from noon to 4:30. Our rentals are still going on, so Brookline High School and all youth hockey still have their practices. So slightly limited on open skate time, but Tuesday through the following Sunday, again, every day, 12 to 4:30, we will have open for open skate. And then something great to end it on. We found out, so if you remember last year, the department received recognition and an award for the equity initiative through the recreation department. We were represented and recognized at the state conference. We actually found out yesterday that the state will be recognizing us again for our efforts on what we did with Brookline Adult and Community Education. Saving that program, bringing that program under our umbrella, and helping it continue in town. So we will be awarded the 2026 Regional Impact Award, again, for our initiative with Adult and Community Ed. And the conference this year is out in Springfield, Massachusetts, in late March. So we've been invited out to be recognized and receive that award again. So just one of those reminders that, you know, what we do here and this, what my staff and our staff do on a daily is really, I think, reaching more people than we realize. So when we get these recognitions and we get these notes and you know, awards to really show that the work we're doing is paying off is really great. And I'm super proud of our team, as always, and my team to get this going, especially adult ed, and how we've been able to bring that in-house. So huge hats off to our entire staff across the entire department. This is a recognition well received, specifically to Meredith, who came over to us from the schools and ensured that this program continues. So just a wonderful highlight to a cold week for us here at the rec department. That's all I got.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice update.
Any comments, questions before we move on to the next item?
Congratulations on the upcoming award.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
second that. Hey, that's good work. The next item is updates from Park and Recreation subcommittees. The CPA, Community Preservation Act Committee, you've already heard, that's actually not our subcommittee, but we serve on it. And I don't know if we have any other, Amelia, or is anything happening with the green dog? You know, we had the survey and that was going to be analyzed. So that's something we have to think about reinvigorating.
Right, yes. And because there's been like so much going on, we just like haven't been able to like start back up. So yes, definitely a goal for 2026 on our end, for spring, summer.
That's great. And any other?
Really, I just have a question on that, and it actually is coming, it's a comment I got, I think, from Debbie Hans. But basically, on that green dog program, do we have the dog, what's it called, Debbie? Can you rescue me here?
Of course, animal control.
Animal control. Would that animal control person be part of the green dog program committee? I guess.
Yes, I mean, not part of the committee, but we do coordinate with Officer Brian Bridges, you know, every now and then, especially like when there's, you know, certain things that's like out of our rangers' hands. Like, for instance, if there's a, you know, animal bite incident or there's an aggressive dog or animal incident. So we usually collaborate with, you know, the police department, and especially with the animal control officer.
But just to clarify, the animal control officer does not ticket for
No.
green dog
That's helpful.
non-compliance.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But you know, just a suggestion, when you have meetings, if you just invite him. And
Yeah.
just so that he knows what's going on and that he's involved, and I would CC the chief, just so she knows also. It just,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's just a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Yep, that's a great idea. We'll definitely keep that in mind.
So any other committees that you think we need to update people on? Subcommittees of our committee?
Yeah, I think the bridal bath, Clara, like that is I believe on pause right now, right? I'm not sure like if there's anything happening there.
They had meetings at various, that people could give input in. But I think that was even before, that was in December, November, December. So that was a while ago. And I think it is paused just because
Mhm.
of workload for the consultant or something, as I understand it.
Yeah, and I also like I believe we're working on getting more survey information before they could progress the design. So I think that was part of the pause as well.
Okay. And then how about, we really don't have much input to the sea line accessibility for the MBTA. Is that correct?
Yes, so as Park and Rec Commission, I believe, some of you have been part of the TPC meetings and some of the boards and commissions meetings, but we are not directly involved in that, like also because it's not a town project, it's MBTA's project and their, public and community engagement process. So we're just offering input, from from town staff, and from public kind of community perspective. So there was a little bit of pause on that since one of their meetings for Tappan and I believe Englewood back in September, but like the next round of meetings have started. We had one TPC meeting last week on February 3rd, and there's actually another meeting, a joint TPC and Disability Commission meeting tomorrow, and there's also going to be select board meetings on, I believe, February 24th and also first week of March. So, the next round of meetings for all remaining of the stations are starting. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely encourage everyone to join and provide their input.
Yeah,
But right,
I'm very much interested in that, and I'm scheduled to go to that meeting tomorrow night,
Great.
especially since the tree people are proposing to do away with the Fairbanks and the Brandon Hall stop. And, the number of elderly and disabled people who are at those stops is, in my building alone, there's over 180 people who are either elderly or disabled. And to take away those stops because of cutting down some trees, to me, is outrageous. That you're limiting the accessibility for people.
Carol, I'm glad you're going, but right now, just so I understand, Mealy, we don't have an official, you are going
Oh,
to
I'm going
those
as a
meetings.
person. I'm going
Yes.
as as a neighbor, and I've
Well,
been
an interested party.
I've been following this since it first began because, it really has implications for the people I live with, that they can't go grocery shopping because they can't come up the stairs, the 18 stairs with their groceries. And, it's all that kind of stuff that's going on that, no, I'm not representing us at all.
But Millie, they are at what other shops, they're gonna need to take down some trees, as I understand it.
right.
And they will
That's
have to go through the process with the town of Brookline, or are they exempt
Yes.
from that process
No,
because it's-
no, they are going through the process, and because all of these are public shade tree, which is why they have to go to the tree planting committee to go to their vote. And typically the process is that, like, during that public hearing, even if there's one appeal, it automatically goes to the select board for their review and approval. So, we've received a number of appeals on the trees, and which is why for the rest of the remaining of the station, even beyond the TPC's vote, it will still need to go to the select board for a hearing.
Thank you. All right, any other subcommittees to report on? I can't think of any, but anybody else? Okay. So then we'll go to other business. Anybody have any other business? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
If I may, I'm sorry.
I see Eric.
I'm sorry, I was using the link to the previous meeting, to the January meeting to sign up. So that's why I couldn't speak at 6:10 about a matter. Would there be an opportunity for me to go through it now? It will take about 5 minutes.
It's supposed to go at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, I was using a link from
Yeah, no.
Chatmeet, so I was waiting in the room. And
But if you want to do, I don't think we will have time to discuss it, but if you, Teresa, who's my vice chair, do you want to present it and then we can
yeah,
discuss it next time or something just to,
that's what I was hoping for.
I will also add that you're limited to 2 minutes on public comment.
How
Pardon
many
me?
minutes?
2 minutes on public comment.
2 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, I
So if
won't.
you can summarize quickly.
All right, sure. So essentially, we have a great scuba diving story
Eric,
now.
will you first, I'm sorry, this won't count as your 2 minutes, but will you tell us your name and where you
Sure.
live for the
Sure.
record? Thank you.
I'm Eric Dask. I live on Naples Road in Brookline. Been a resident for about 15 years or so. A little over 16 years. So there is a scuba shop on Route 9 near Brookline Village called East Coast Diver. The scuba shop has been here for a little over 50 years, since 1974, and has operated in Brookline as a shop, but also using Brookline pools for a lot of that time. Around COVID, this stopped for completely understandable reasons. Once things kind of free up a little bit in October 2024, the East Coast Diver reached out to BREC to kind of resume that activity of doing training in its pools, and was quoted a price that at the time was a little over 3 times what it used to be in 2019. Engaged BREC by email, explaining that they didn't need the entire pool anymore and wanted to get kind of a price for a much smaller use of the pool, and that email wasn't followed on. I learned about the issue fairly recently, emailed BREC to discuss this further. Others issues were brought that I'm happy to expand on. But unfortunately, this Brookline-based business that caters to Brookline and nearby Brookline residents and nearby towns has to do its training in Sudbury, in Wayland, where they charge about $135 an hour. Whereas Brookline had quoted in October 2024 $600 an hour. And so it is my understanding that it is this commission role to discuss these type of things and set prices for these type of activities. So I am bringing it there. I have a whole kind of explanation set of emails, information about all of this. I'm happy to send it to people. I'd send it to the Parks and Rec Commission email in Brookline, but I understand that doesn't go directly to you. So I have kind of full documentation of all of this that I'd like to share with the commission so we can discuss it at a later date.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Tim did share your email with us. So when you want to email us, it goes through the department and they do forward it on. And I think Tim explained to us the restrictions, et cetera, what they were, but if we can put it on the agenda for March as our next meeting, you know, and bring it to the public and let's, if that'd
be great. So there's 2 emails plus some more information as a reply to Tim's concern about training of lifeguards. I'd like to share that with you in advance, to share that with the commission in advance of the March date, if possible, so that you have all of the information at hand before discussion.
You should send it to Tim and ask him to send it to us, and he will. We
Yeah,
don't
shoot
give
me,
out
Eric,
our
and
private emails.
Yeah, and I'll
last time
CC on
that
email.
did not happen, which is
Okay. So we will put that on the next month's
Sounds good.
agenda.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming, Eric. Any other things to bring up? And I think our March, it is also March 10th. And Lori, if Eric goes to the town website, there's the link to the meeting there, correct? I
Yes.
just want to make sure you get here. Okay,
So Eric, you'll register just like you did today, but you will be on the agenda.
I will. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome.
all right. So a movement to adjourn.
I
If
move
nobody-
we adjourn.
Second.
Great. I didn't, for some reason, Debbie moved, we adjourned, and Carol seconded. Is that correct?
I think it was
Yep.
Carol and Jane, or maybe it was Debbie. I don't know.
Well,
Doesn't
Lori, as long
matter.
as you know, you can put it in the minutes correctly.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I guess I have to call roll again. Debbie,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes, thank you.
Jane,
Yes.
and I say yes as well. Thank you all. We made it through the meeting before Jane had to go speak
Yeah.
to the select board.
Yeah.
Laurie, you can use Carol. I hate to say second or so that you don't have to put my whole name. So you can use Carol.
You're already,
I've been
you're already,
practicing. I've been
all I have to do
practicing.
is, I only have to click a little dot next to your name, so I'm
Okay.
good.
Sorry,
All right,
I've been practicing
I'll
for
be
years.
grazing away.
Bye,
great
bye,
week.
everybody.
Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Good
Thank
night.
you so much.
Stay warm.
You all.
You too.